hanging on a clothespin. Euthania.
What's up, guys? It's Wiley, as you would expect, and I have a special guest with me today, the fantasy genius himself.
Dan Rogers.
We both picked up the new Megadeth album, Th1rt3en, today, and we're gonna give it a loose review and just talk about it. So, Ben, overall, what did you think of the album?
I thought it was a pretty solid album. Some of the past few Megadeth albums haven't been, up to par to the Megadeth standard, but I think In Game was a very solid album, and I think this album was better than In Game because he improved on a lot of aspects of his last few albums.
I enjoyed it. I thought that at times the songs sounded pretty alike each other and kind of like carbon copies of each other, but there was only one song that I detested and had to forward through, and that was Wrecker.
Yeah, I have to agree. When we were listening to on the way back home, I was like, I wonder if this song doesn't have the word home wrecker in it. It's just called Wrecker. But then the whole chorus is home wrecker, home wrecker.
The whole song is the chorus. It's like chorus, guitar, chorus again, guitar, chorus. There's like 4 lines in the whole song, and they're all the same, and they're all obnoxious. I was hoping, when I saw the title, I was hoping for a Skull Crusher type song, but I didn't get it.
It's kind of like Fixer for Metallica.
What did you think of the first song, Sudden Death?
Now, I know you said you didn't really enjoy Sudden Death, but Sudden Death was, I think, it was kind of like a prelude to the album, because when in Game, there was Dialectic Chaos, and it kind of set a tone for the rest of the album. I think Sudden Death did that very well. I thought the intro was really, it was a new kind of thing, and I thought it was a pretty good song overall.
See, I'm going to disagree. I thought that Sudden Death was, you could give Sudden Death a comparison to Earth on Hell from the new Anthrax album, Worship Music. There's a lot of double bass drums. It's kind of overdone, and it's just kind of repetitive and generic. But it wasn't that bad of a song. What'd you think about Public Enemy #1?
Probably one of my favorite songs on the album. I thought it had great guitar work, great drums, great lyrics. I thought the chorus was really well done. I thought it was just a good song overall.
I like the guitar too. I think it was a little bit repetitive as well, but it was definitely a solid track.
Yeah, that's probably one of the main cons of this album. That there's a lot of repetitiveness. But that's what you get sometimes.
I think only some of the songs really have the repetitive problem. What'd you think about Whose Life?
I didn't really like Whose Life. I thought the chorus was kind of repetitive. I mean, just kind of like how we've talked about these first 2 songs, it's a lot of repetitiveness. But it was a decent song, not doing great.
I thought Whose Life was a really good tune because it kind of brings out the 1980s rebellion factor of heavy metal that a lot of albums seem to be missing. And I enjoyed that about it. What did you think about We the People?
Well, when I saw We the People, I was it kind of brought up memories of
Coach Hurst's class.
Yeah.
Yes.
And kind of, what do you mean you gotta believe in God, like something like that. But I thought the intro was pretty cool. How it had like the person on the siren or the loudspeaker, and I thought it was a pretty good song. Like I said, I didn't think it was anything special, but I thought it was overall. So.
This was my favorite track on the album.
Really?
It really hit a tone with me. It's upbeat, it's fast, it's not too long, it's not overly repetitive. I like the lyrics. I think they mean a lot. You can tell they're just not mailing it in. Like I think Wrecker was a thrown-in track.
Yeah.
Mustaine definitely felt this one, and it shows. This is my favorite track on the album by far. I thought the solo was good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed it overall.
I'll give you that. Solo was very good.
Okay, I know you don't really like We the People, but go in depth about why you don't like it.
What do you mean? Because Guns, Drugs,
Yeah,
and Money.
Guns, Drugs, and Money.
This song has to be probably my least favorite song on the entire album, because it's pretty much just him saying guns, drugs, and money. Like, not in that tune, but like that's pretty much the entire thing he says, with some other like cheesy lyrics thrown in. I don't think like the riff is good, the chorus is good. I just think this is a lousy song. And like ironically, it's made by everyone in the band. It's made by all 4 members. So I don't know. I'm not feeling this one.
I think it's pretty good. It's again has the repetitive problem, but I think it's kind of funny. I don't think it's a totally serious track. I think it's supposed to be kind of funny.
I think you're right about that.
All right. What about Never Dead?
I thought Never Dead's actually one of my not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite songs on the album. I thought it had good lyrics. I thought Mustaine was actually trying on this one compared to Wrecker. Yeah.
God.
But I really liked Never Dead.
I think Never Dead was a solid track. Nothing special, but I think it'll grow on me, kind of like Wake Up Dead did.
What about New World Order?
Once again, just like Never Dead, I think it had great lyrics. And this one was also made by all the band members, which is surprisingly good. So, Never Dead and New World Order are probably 2 of my favorite songs on the album.
I think Never Dead was just a solid track. I don't see anything wrong with it. What about Fastlane?
I really didn't like Fastlane. It was fast paced and it was Megadeth, but then again, it was just a bunch of like, how we always say, or me and John Chris always say that it's just Mustaine kind of like rumbling. That's how I kind of felt about it. It wasn't really, anything special.
This was one of my favorite songs on the album, actually, because I think it had like a road element, kind of like I Can't Drive 55, except not ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it kind of has that effect of like something you would really enjoy while driving in a car. And I just liked it. It was one of my more liked songs on the album. Not the best, but I don't think it was bad. What about Black Swan?
I was kind of hesitant of this song at first just because of the name.
The movie?
Yeah, because of the movie, but like I really liked this song. I thought the intro was really well done. It was kind of soft, and then it kind of got a lot heavier as Megadeth is, and I thought it was a pretty solid tune.
I wasn't a big fan of this one. It was really repetitive, and coughing a lot today. And one of the lyrics, it was like a cemetery ghost.
Oh yeah.
I didn't understand. It's not that I didn't understand that; it just didn't make any sense to me. They said that line so many times. It was twice in the chorus. It seemed like, and it just wasn't worth saying.
And it was like a church shadow or something like that.
Like a church shadow in a cemetery. I guess I just didn't get the analogy, but that really kind of threw the song off for me.
All right, we're to Wrecker now.
Oh god.
Go to town.
Wrecker.
By all means.
Wrecker was a complete crap.
Filler track.
Yeah, it was one of those songs. He's like, well, we have 12 songs, and I want to name the album 13. So let's just make another song called Wrecker.
We need one more. Marty, or they go to the drummer's book of riffs and what do you have for us? And that was Wrecker. They just took generic heavy metal lyrics and put it on top of a above average Megadeth riff, but the lyrics just didn't do it for me, and
it was him bashing some girl. I know he's married, but I don't know if that was about his wife or something. 'Cause he was like, oh, no, it doesn't matter where you work, home wrecker.
Yeah, it to me it seemed like a straight rip off of Liar, off of Killing is My Business, except it had about 10% of the lyric strength, and it was so repetitive, and the guitar wasn't as good as Liar, and it just wasn't as there. Liar to me is a really intense, heartfelt track, where this was just basically whining to me. So we don't like Wrecker. What did you think about Millennium of the Blind?
I actually liked Millennium of the Blind. I thought it had really good lyrics. There was one lyric that made me chuckle. That was like, it was kind of stupid, but it was good. It was like, "You cannot see the truth if you have no eyes." But I thought there was some pretty good lyrics. I liked the song, solid riff. I really liked it.
I thought it was a solid track too. Nothing wrong with it. What do you think about Deadly Nightshade?
At first, when I first heard Deadly Nightshade, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty good." And then, like, later in the song, like, the chorus just started like to piss me off. Like, it really started to annoy me. And I'm like, if I listen to this for another week, I'm gonna like really hate this song.
That's how I felt about Black Swan.
Really?
Yeah, like
But I mean, there's nothing wrong with the track. It's a perfectly fine track, but the chorus just pisses me off
after a while, it just kind of came off as like a Dave Mustaine joke song, because like the lyrics are like, at first it makes sense, and then as it goes on, I kind of start to think like, well, are they joking? It's like as it goes on, I wouldn't even call it repetitive. It's just like the same like concept, kind of just like building on top of itself. And it's not a bad song, it's just not one of the better ones on the album. Now we come to the third and final song of the Megadeth album, 13, and this is one of my personal favorites. It's the title track, 13. What'd you think about it, Ben?
I have to agree with you completely. This is my favorite song of the entire album. And I don't know what it is about, title tracks, but it seems like sometimes they're always the best on albums. They're very good songs. Ride the Lightning with Metallica, that was a great song.
Master with Metallica.
Master. I have to throw my Pink Floyd in there. "Wish You Were Here" on the "Wish You Were Here" album. Great song. I think the same thing is applied here with 13. It was when I was first listening to it, I thought it was going to be something really heavy at first, but it comes in, with like an acoustic soft sound, and then it finishes off. I love the chorus. I love the lyrics. I love the emotion. And I think Mustaine was at his best on this track.
When I first heard the 13 track, I thought that I ripped the album onto my computer, and I had other tabs up, and I thought that like an advertisement was going off or something, because of just like the subtle nuances and just how creative the intro was.
Exactly.
And then I realized that it was just part of the intro, and you just put that on top of like just a classic Megadeth track that has good lyrics, like Ben said, and a strong riff. And it's one of the longer songs, and I think that shows that
it's on the album.
It's one of the tracks that they really wanted to have in. Like, it's not a filler track, and it's not just okay. It's something special. So that was our kind of loose review of Megadeth's new album, recorded on the day it comes out. I hope y'all enjoyed. Ben's channel will be in the description. And
I'm back.
And hopefully he'll be back by the time you head over there. All right, see you later.